I got blood on my hands right now, and I'm stumbling through the dark in the dawn. I have found new ways, but no, I can't be the one that you need.
Hey guys, it's Yaya and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are making two DIYs. One will be a Buriti Butter. It will be used as the base to whip up a pomegranate body butter. Both the pomegranate oil and the Buriti oil are unrefined organic oils from Oslove Organics. I want to give a huge thanks to Oslove Organics for sponsoring this video today. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video, you guys. We have a lot to go over. First off, the formula. Let's focus only on the Buriti infused butter. Starting off, this will be the base for the pomegranate body butter, okay? So there's two formulas. One is the featured formula, which will be shown in this video, and the other is the tweaked version that I did later on off camera, but you will still see that in this video as well, okay? So my goal for the Buriti butter was to be able to store it in chip form so to be easy to store and easy to measure out when using. So I knew I had to focus on the texture of the plant butters that I was using. I wanted to make sure they were hard enough to hold up the chip form. So the first butter I used was the Takuma butter. This is a semi-soft butter, but as you can see, you can kind of ply through it a little bit with your hands, but it still is a little bit on the harder side, so I thought that it would, give me a little bit more of that stability for the chip form, okay? Takuma butter has similar properties to Murumuru butter, and they both are great substitutes to replace silicone, so if you're looking to do that. Next, I chose Elibe butter because it's one of the hardest butters out there. It reminds me of cocoa butter, just without the smell, and of course is more pale in color. Elibe butter is one of my favorite butters to use to add stability and thickness to a product, and also to kind of help your products not melt during those hot summer months, okay? It's a really great butter to use. I highly recommend it. Next up is mango butter. Mango butter is very similar to shea butter, except for it is considered a semi-soft butter, so it's a little harder than shea butter. A lot of people turn to mango butter when they're looking for a milder smell than shea butter, and also if they're looking for something a little less heavy than shea butter, you can turn to mango butter for that. They have similar properties though, so it's a great substitute. So that's it for the butters I chose and why I chose them. I've already measured my butters out, so I'm just going to place them in a heat-safe container. I'm going to melt them down on low heat, sit them to the side while I focus on my Buriti oil. You guys already know how much I love Buriti oil. I have used it numerous times in a lot of my creations. I first discovered Buriti oil when I was trying to find a natural red colorant for my DIYs, and basically it turned out that it gives more of a yellowish to orange tint, especially when you're whipping up a product or if you add it to like a lotion. Now if you're just making a simple balm or lip balm or something like that, you possibly could keep more of that reddish orange color, but for the most part you're looking at something that's going to be more yellow to orange, okay? But it's just a beautiful natural colorant and I love it so much. I am just so happy I stumbled across it because it is literally one of the most powerful antioxidants I've ever used. When I say when it comes to healing properties, you guys, I saw improvement in the overall health of my skin in almost no time. I use it all the time. I absolutely love it. It also is a great sun protectant. It helps with fine lines, wrinkles, and other skin irritations. It really is overall a great oil to invest in, okay? So this is why I wanted to use it as the base of my whipped pomegranate butter, and I also get a bonus because it just has such a beautiful color. So yeah, now that we have our Buriti oil, we can go ahead and pour it into our melted butters, and that's it. We're just infusing the melted butters with this beautiful Buriti oil to make a Buriti butter base. So this can be stored to the side and used whenever you need, when you want that little pop of color. You already have it mixed into your butters and everything. It just makes a really beautiful base that can be used on its own or added to other products as an ingredient. Alright, so after you mix in your Buriti oil, you can go ahead and fill your mold. Once you fill your mold, you can place it in the freezer or the refrigerator for it to get hard, and then from there you can store it. Guys, here are the final results. It doesn't take long for these to solidify at all. However, the featured formula that I used, which was the Takuma butter, the Elipe butter, and the mango butter together, is just not stable enough to hold this chip form. It's just too soft. And I thought by choosing those harder butters that it wouldn't be, but they are just too soft. So what I did is I went back and I did the Elipe butter just by itself. Because if you don't, you're going to get something more like this. This is the results. They just kind of mesh together. They don't hold their form within the bag, okay? But that is perfectly fine. This butter is beautiful on its own. You can store it in a jar and you can just take it out and use it as needed or add it as an ingredient without being in a chip form. The chip form is just a little bit more convenient if you want to use that formula, to each its own, okay? So if you decide to use the harder formula with just the Elipe butter and the Buriti oil that will hold the chip form shape, then you can store it in a bag similar to this, a little package like this. I thought it was so cute. I've had these little packages for a while and I just decided it would be really cute to showcase the little chips inside. So but if not, you can also store your chips in a jar or any other form that you would like to store your chips in, and that's only if you use the harder formula that will allow that to happen. If not, place your freeform butter into a jar or any other container that is airtight. Now that we have our beautiful Buriti butter, we can go ahead and make our second DIY, which will be the whipped pomegranate body butter. 55% of this formula will be the freshly made Buriti butter, and then the other portion will be the pomegranate oil. I want to keep it pretty simple, but also to really focus on these amazing ingredients, okay? Pomegranate oil has unlimited benefits for hair and skin. So let's jump right into making this beautiful whipped pomegranate body butter, and we'll talk more about the pomegranate oil in just a second, okay? So we're going to use our freshly made Buriti butter chips and measure them out to get the amount of butter that we need for this formula. Being in chip form makes this process so much easier, and it also allows your butters to melt down super uber fast. So while our butter is melting, we can go ahead and focus on our oil. Pomegranate oil has major benefits for the hair and skin. If you're dealing with damaged skin, like dry, cracked skin, pomegranate oil will be great to use. It's also great for stimulating hair growth. It's perfect for the hair, the scalp, and any other ailments you have. It's a very powerful antioxidant. It also has a natural fruity smell, you guys, that is so potent and beautiful. You don't even need any additional fragrances or essential oils for this body butter. Alright, so now that we have our oil and our butters, we're just going to combine them. Pour your oil into your butters and mix them in well. Even in this moment, I can smell how fragrant this pomegranate oil is. It is just one of a kind, honestly. I really love it. So once you have your oil and your butter mixed together, you're going to go ahead and place it in the freezer. Leave your mixture in the freezer until it's about semi-solid, and then you can take it out and whip it up. Now in most cases, the butter around the edge of the glass will be a little harder than the mixture that's inside. That's okay. Just go ahead and just scrape around it and make sure everything is combined well, and then you can go ahead and whip it up. And it will take a little second. Just give it a minute. When you whip your body butters up, sometimes it can take a minute for it to get all that air into it and get that final texture. Don't be afraid to really continue whipping your butters. I know a lot of people tell me, oh, theirs came out too thin. You probably just didn't whip it long enough, okay? So just make sure you really put in the time to whip your butters up. Once it starts to get really fluffy and big, and a lot of times it will lighten in color, then that's when you know you're pretty much have got what you're looking for. And if you need to, sit it down for a little while, come back to it, whip it up again. You can do that as well until you get the final texture that you are looking for. So this is the final results, you guys. It's so thick and beautiful, and I think I owe a lot of that to the Elipe butter. If you use the first formula, you will definitely get a different texture than this, but in the end, all butters will slightly solidify. So just make sure you pay attention to that when you're filling your jar as well. You want to hurry up and fill your jar, especially if you're going to pipe it in, because once it starts to solidify or stiffen a little bit, then it's going to be really hard to get it in that jar, okay? Now, everybody has their things that they're good at and the things that they're bad at. Me and piping, I don't know, we just don't get along. I really have never been good at piping, but since I'm using little tiny jars today, they're so cute. I had to use a piping bag in order to get this mixture in there. But yeah, if you're better at piping than I am, then ignore this. But you can definitely pipe it in. But like I said, just get it in there fast when you're dealing with butters, especially harder butters like Elite butter. There you have it, our whipped pomegranate body butter. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm loving the texture of this butter. I would love to hear what you guys think. Make sure you leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below. I know there was a lot of information in this video. First, we had our DIY Buriti butter as our base, and then we used that base to make a whipped pomegranate body butter. So there are definitely layers in this video. So definitely leave your questions down below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you would like to check out any of the ingredients used in this video, make sure you go check out Oslove Organics. The link is in the description box below. Oslove Organics has numerous ingredients for all of your DIY needs. You guys know I've been using them for years and I absolutely love them. They're my #1 stop for my oils and my butters and other ingredients I use for my DIY creation. So I just want to give a huge thank you to Oslove Organics. Thank them so much for sponsoring this video. Without them, I wouldn't be able to bring you guys this awesome content. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you like it. If you did, leave it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell because it's the only way you can keep up with the videos I'm coming out with. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.